Mayor, thank you for the hat and for letting me come to Yadkin. Sheriff, thank you for letting me come to the county and keep up the great job. I want to take an opportunity to introduce two people. They're in the back of the crowd. It's my wife, Brooke, and my oldest son, Tyler. She's the reason I'm allowed to do this. I'm here today to say thank you to each and every one of you. You don't have to work for candidates. You don't have to be involved. You don't have to care about the future of the country, but you do. You do it all. And for that, I want you to know, on behalf of all the candidates, we're grateful to you, because without you, we wouldn't have the privilege to serve. And it is truly a privilege to be able to represent you in the United States Senate. I need your vote this year, just like every candidate does. But more importantly, the country needs your vote, and the country needs your participation right now. Ladies and gentlemen, you see the opportunity that's in front of us. You know, when I grow up, I want to be like Darrell. I want to run unopposed. It's so predictable. I can sleep at night. I don't have to work quite as hard. But more importantly, I'll understand exactly the role I can play. Right now, though, we're going to go county by county, 100 of them in North Carolina, and to continue to meet with groups. You know, today we've had groups as large as 250. Yesterday we had a group of 4,500. You know, don't think that you're in this by yourself, that you go to bed scared at night wondering whether anybody else is willing to be involved. When you see 4,500 people last night in a tobacco warehouse in Smithfield, you understand this is not about Republican, Democrat, or Independent. This is about America. It's about our future, and it's about us as Americans. What I don't want you to miss is the opportunity we've got this year. As Darrell said, for the first time since 1898, we could be the majority party in the North Carolina Senate if we're willing to work hard enough. If we're able to take the North Carolina Senate, and I think we will, we've got an opportunity to be the majority party in the North Carolina House, and we will do redistricting, and I will assure you, Republicans will do it in a way that serves a constituency, not their own re-election, and that's how it should be. But I want to stop for just a second and talk about judges. These candidates don't have an R, an I, a U, a D behind their name. And I'm sure it's happened to you. I've gone in the poll and I can hear the people in the next stall saying, well, which name sounds good for a judge? I'm going to tell you, we're way past names that sound good. What you want are conservatives that understand what you believe and believe what you believe on the bench. And they're never going to be able to meet every North Carolinian before November the 2nd, and that's where you come in. Listen, you've done a lot, you're doing a lot by being here today. But I'm going to ask you today to do a little bit more. See, human nature is that when people get ready to ask, you always think of everything that's on your schedule. Wednesday, I've got to have my hair done on Wednesday. How about Thursday? Thursday, I've got to do this. Saturday, I've got to go to the ball game. Let me tell you, we've got 10 days left. 10 days to decide the future of this country. I'm asking all of you, except for work, to erase everything on your schedule. Don't even wait for the county party or for a candidate to call you. Call them and ask what you can do. Maybe that's making phone calls. Maybe it's walking door to door. Maybe it's standing downtown Yadkin and handing out a brochure saying, vote for the conservative judges. Whatever role you're willing to play, we need to plug you into that role between now and Election Day, every day. It seems like a lot that I'm asking you to do. I want to tell you a story real quick. It's a story about a year and a half ago. A speech I was given in Asheville, North Carolina on Memorial Day. We were dedicating a World War II monument. The speech was over, the crowd started to subside. I had about 20 people around me, And I noticed in the corner of my eye this gentleman coming up, and he worked his way through the crowd, and I saw him reach on his wrist, and he grabbed something, and he reached over and he put it on my wrist, and he said these words, "Don't let this be in vain." Well, when I started from my car, I looked down on my wrist, and I realized that he had put on my wrist his son's KIA bracelet from Iraq, 2006. You can't imagine emotionally what you go through. I flew back to Washington on Monday, and I sat down to write that family a letter. And to be candid with you, I didn't know what to say to them. I remember John McCain wore a bracelet he was given. And I walked down the hall to John's office, and I told him the story, and I said, "John, you wear a bracelet. What should I say?" And he opened his desk drawer, and he said, "Richard, I still wear the bracelet, the first one I was given. But in this box," and he opened it up, "are 22 bracelets that I've been given as well." And he said, "I've told every one of them, I will wear this or keep it my entire life, and it will be buried in my casket on the day I'm buried." I went back to my office and I wrote that family that letter. 2 weeks ago today, about the same time as we're here, I was in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Crowd of a couple hundred. I told them this story. When we got through and the crowd started to leave and we were headed back to the bus for the next stop, a couple came up to me. The wife reached down on her wrist and she took off a bracelet. It was her son's KIA bracelet. And she said, "Senator, start your box." When I ask you for 10 days, think about those two soldiers. Think about all that served today. Think about the generations that have served and sacrificed and never complained because they understood this wasn't about today, it's about the future. That we inherited from our parents not just the opportunity to prosper, we inherited a responsibility to make sure that this country continues in the direction that they handed it off to us. Why are we here today? Because we're scared to death we're headed in the wrong direction. We see the policies that are in place and we see our neighbors out of work. And we're frustrated because we don't think Washington listens. And you know what? I go through the same frustrations. I go through the same sleepless nights. I live with the same fear you live with because I don't see us addressing the policies the way we should. That can all change in 10 days. It can all change not by Washington, not by government, but by the American people. It is in your hands. For one, I can't wait for the cavalry to come. I can't wait to be challenged to fix some of the things that today we're shut out of. We're not asked to participate. We're not asked to supply input. I may not get it right the first time, but I certainly wouldn't wait 2 years and not try anything else and hope that it changed. Now I got to tell you how excited I am for November the 2nd, about 10 o'clock at night, when I'm looking at results. I'll be watching Fox, by the way. When I see that picture of Virginia Fox and that check go up and Howard Coble and that check go up, and I see one of those seats that we pick up in North Carolina by a North Carolina member of the House of Representatives, and that check goes up, you know what I'm going to realize then? Nancy Pelosi's gone forever. If you'll commit today, for the next 10 days, to work as hard as you can to get Republicans elected. And trust me, Yadkin County is vitally important to every statewide race on the Republican ticket. It's not going to happen if you don't turn out. As a matter of fact, if you've early voted, I want you to go find the sticker they gave you. I want you to wear it for the next 10 days. I voted today. Voting is contagious. When people see it, they want to go do it themselves. Wear it to work. Challenge your coworkers. Wear it to church. They'll wonder how you voted on Sunday, but that doesn't matter. They'll go Monday and vote. Do everything you can between now and then to turn that vote out. But if you'll do that for me, I'll make you this promise. I'll go back to Washington and I will do everything I can to make sure that nobody ever apologizes for the United States of America again. Thank you. God bless.